Have you ever witnessed instant karma in real time? In high school, I was untouchable. My dad owned a construction company, so teachers were scared to mess with me, and the principal always gave me special treatment. I could do whatever I wanted, and nobody had the guts to challenge me. My favorite target was our English teacher, Mr. Thompson. Young guy, total idealist, thought he could change the world. To me, he was just an easy mark, and he had the most incredible lunches. His wife must have been some kind of chef or something. Every day, he'd bring this lunchbox filled with masterpieces, fresh rolls, perfect lettuce, fancy deli meats, and I, out of pure boredom and because I could, started stealing them from him. It wasn't about the food, it was about showing power. Walking into the teacher's lounge, taking his lunch, and eating it right in front of him in the hallway, I could see his helpless anger. He knew it was me, but he couldn't do anything about it. I felt like a teen, until that Tuesday, the day I'll remember for the rest of my life. Like always, during lunch break, I slipped into the teacher's lounge. Thompson's lunchbox was waiting for me on the table. That day, inside, was the most beautiful sandwich I'd ever seen. They looked like something from a commercial. Crispy roll, thick slice of roasted pork, juicy tomato. My mouth was watering. I walked out to the hallway when my crew was hanging out. Everyone was watching with admiration. "Did he that ever get?" my buddy asked. "Like always," I replied proudly, and opened the box. I wanted to eat this sandwich in style. I took the biggest bite I possibly could. The first 2 seconds, heaven, perfect taste of the roasted meat, fresh vegetables. Then, in the third second, I felt something weird, like a gentle warmth. By the fifth second, the warmth turned into fire. At the 10th second, I felt like someone had poured boiling oil down my throat, then thrown in a handful of broken glass. I dropped a sandwich. It hit the floor. My face was on fire. My eyes filled with tears. I couldn't breathe. The only sound coming from my throat was some inhuman gurgling. My friends first stared in shock, then started laughing hysterically, recording everything on their phones. I couldn't see anything. I ran blindly toward the bathroom, trying to put out his fire with water from the sink, but it didn't help. The hell was spreading through my entire throat, going down to my stomach. It ended with the school nurse calling an ambulance. They carried me out of school on a stretcher, past laughing students, while I was writhing in pain. In the ER, after stomach pumping and several painful injections, a doctor gave his diagnosis: severe chemical burns of the throat and stomach from an extreme dose of capsaicin. But that wasn't even the worst part. The next 3 days were pure hell. What goes down must come up and out. I practically lived in the bathroom. Every trip was like reliving the sandwich experience all over again, but from the other end. My mom had to bring me ice cream and milk every few hours just so I could function. I couldn't leave the house, couldn't sit down properly. I came back to school 3 days later. I wasn't Bikini no more. I was the sandwich kid, a laughingstock. When I walked down the hallway, I saw Mr. Thompson coming out of the teacher's lounge. Our eyes met for a split second. He didn't say anything, just barely nodded with a slight ironic smile. That smile said everything.